Hey there, welcome back. It's Jemima Davis. Listen, have you ever wanted to realize a dream, whether it was a passion project or a business idea that you wanted to get off the ground? Now that you have dreamt about it, it's going to require more than dreaming in order for you to get that dream started. Now, you know your passion. All you need is a set of tools that can help equip you to move you from where you are to where you want to go. Today, I want to take you along with me on a previous training that I've done that highlights a set of tools, right? The skill set that you would need to develop in order to support your dream. Let's dive in together.
So today's broadcast, I'm going to share with you a little bit about some of the things that I've learned over time as I have dedicated time to learn in life. There's been a couple of quotes that actually have guided my professional life, and I keep them close and want to share them with you today. I also want to touch a little bit on after we have found what our purpose is, which is some of what we've been talking about in the past, after you've determined what that is, after you have determined how you're going to use it in order to bless others, after you've developed consistency and habits that are going to support you, after you surround yourself with the right kind of people, right, in order to get an alignment with what you want to do in life, then what? There is a very important piece that I want to touch on today that I think will benefit all of you. And that piece is actually skill set. How do you develop skill set in order to be able to support a dream that you've had, or even a gift that you realize that you have and you want to actually turn it into reality? How do you develop the ability to be able to do that? I think sometimes motivation is great, inspiration is awesome, but if you don't have the skill set to support you in some of those things that you want to accomplish, most of them probably will not become a reality. So we'll touch a little bit on that later on today on our broadcast. But I want to share with you a couple of quotes that I keep close to heart that actually have benefited me as I go about to live on purpose. One of them is the two most important days in someone's life are the days is the day that they are born and the day they discover why. John Maxwell wrote this quote, and I think there is so much truth to it. These are two of the most important days. They're not the most important days, but they are two of the most important days. And I think that once you determine what you were born to do, whatever that is, and the beautiful thing is, all of us have different gifts. And so I can't say that someone else's gift is not as good as someone else's, because all of us have different gifts that fall into so many different areas and categories. It would take forever to try and classify whether someone's gifting is better in a sense than someone else's, because I think as long as that gift is serving a purpose, then it is worth a place at the table. It's worth a seat at the table to be able to display itself so that it can benefit other people. The other quote that actually has also touched me, and I remember it a lot, is, if I had 8 hours to chop down a tree, I'd spend 6 sharpening my axe. Now, Abraham Lincoln said this quote, and I think that there are some quotes, there are some different versions of it. Sometimes you'll see 8 hours, other times you'll see 3 hours, but the idea is that you have to sharpen your skills in order to be able to hit your targets. You have to sharpen your skills in order to be able to do what you need to do. We can't just focus on talent alone, but we have to also sharpen our tools, sharpen our skill sets, right, in order to be able to accomplish certain things in life and to have the ability to be able to do what we do well. That's another quote that I actually keep very close to heart, because I want to be able to to exercise some of these principles that they say as they continue to invest in my growth. So, one advice that I have given to myself is to, find the reason for which I was created by God for. Turn turn me into we, meaning that nobody can do something by themselves. And if you want to, I think there's an African proverb that says, if you want to go far, you have to have other people that come along with you on the journey. You have to have other people that go with you on the journey. It's not just about getting there fast, but it's getting there with people and going further than you could even go by yourself. And so some of these advice that I'm about to share with you are things that I tell myself, right? Find your reason, find your purpose in life. Then turn me into we. Find others that you can take along on the journey with you, whether they are investing in you or you are investing in them. Then find some kind of way that, whatever it is that you're doing, it's not just about you. Then use your gifts. One of the things, mantras that I tell myself is that I want to be used up. I want to be used up. At the end of my days, I pray that I'm used up with all of my gifts, my talents, my abilities, right? Everything that I could give, including even love. Because sometimes I think we hold back on giving love because we have been hurt in the past before. But there's a way that we can actually open up to be ready, not just to give love, but also to receive it, and to receive it freely. It can be a beautiful thing, right? So after using up all my gifts, one of them is to train up. Train up. Train up so that I can approve myself. Train up that I can help other people. Train up that I can open up the door and someone else can walk through it. Train up that I can pave the way and someone behind me doesn't have to pave that way again. They'll find somewhere that can lead them and walk them down the path. And then the last three things that I tell myself is to stay the course, to never give up. Sometimes we come upon instances where life may be able to delay some of the things that we want to accomplish, but quitting is never an option, and it should never be an option. The other thing that I tell myself as well is to ignore critics, especially the ones that are not adding value in helping me to be encouraged to finish the race strong. Sometimes we have to turn a blind eye and a deaf ear to not hear the critic that is telling us that we are not valuable. So when I come to the place where I find myself hearing the critics too much, I find a way to turn down that volume and ignore those critics that are not adding value to me pursuing the purpose for which God created me for. And then also, never stop learning. I am a lifelong learner. And I discovered that along the way. I have to tell you the truth that in the past, I really didn't realize how much of a life learner I was. I was always interested about stories and hearing about other people's lives and reading certain articles and books and just listening to podcasts and going to different conferences, and all of these things I think just fuel me to want to know more. The more that I learn, the more I want to learn. And so that's the thing that I tell myself as well, is to never stop learning. So for you that has a dream, for you that has a plan, for you that has been putting perhaps effort in something that you've been given time into, I want to tell you today that you can absolutely do it. You can do it. You can do it. That ability that you're looking for, that you want to sharpen up, perhaps that hasn't been working, you can do it. Reassess and find a way to do it. Find the right people that can surround you in order to help you to get to the next level. And then last, I'll say, there is no effort that is enough. We could put in all of the effort that we could put in, but if we don't take action in the right direction, then we're never going to get at the destination that we want to get. And so today, my last advice that I now normally give myself is to stop planning, stop rearranging, and take action in the right direction. And the fruits that are going to be coming out of the action steps that I take are going to tell whether or not I'm going in the right direction. And so when you come in a place where you are indecisive about whether or not you should or should not do something, and especially when you've done all that you can in order to make sure that it's the right thing for you to do, and it is still the right thing for you to do in your mind, then there has to come a time where you have to ask yourself, perhaps, do I have the right skill set in order to be able to do these next few things that I'm going to do?
Mastering your skills gets you good at what you do, and then it amplifies your commitment for success. In addition, it really helps you to focus on your purpose so that you can develop a strong why, a strong reason why you do things, a strong drive. And that why can really take front seat in order to lead you to who it is that you are meant to serve. If you wonder where to begin, go to inspiredmomsinspired.com and click on download our freebies. There, you'll be able to download a brand new PDF that I created just for you in mind. The PDF is called Build Your Brand Without Limits. Not only is it a PDF that lists all of the steps that you can take in order to begin to do that, but it also has a video series that is attached to it. There you'll find 5 practical strategies to help you push past your obstacles in order to be able to pursue your passion and purpose in business and in life. Until next time, dream bigger, live better, and make an impact. Stay inspired.